Hi, it's Rachel with Stirring the Deep. I was talking in my video about how when you're knit to that divine spirit of God, His divine character, you naturally what flows out of you is the fruit of that. Okay, it's just this heart to give and to love, and versus this taking and trying to get the most you can out of people. Okay, it's this beautiful desire to honor all of creation, to really be kind, and to live without any kind of hypocrisy. And that's what I want to talk about, because hypocrisy is so damaging. And all of us have lived in it. Okay? And to think that you haven't is the ultimate blindness. And one thing is that religion does such a great job of blinding people and creating that hypocrisy, because it has this image of what it means to be, for example, a Christian. You go to church, you read the Bible, you dress a certain way, you say certain words. It creates this whole image that you kind of put on. That's like the whitewashed tomb, okay? When you come to know God, what you know is He's spirit, and He has this beautiful, pure character. And that's what Jesus gives you, okay? He gives you that pure character. And in that character is the honor and the love and all these things. It takes on a lot of different faces, a lot of different looks. There is no particular image to it, okay? And when it's truly expressed in all sincerity without hypocrisy, then it comes out of through our personalities all so differently. And it's just beautiful. So the moment that people start looking the same, conformity speaks to hypocrisy. Okay? Because it's people trying to be a certain image because they deem that's what is good. When you really come to start experiencing the true nature of that divine character within you and the fruit of it, it's this complete unique expression based on who you are. That's why God created you. That's why each one is so precious. And I want to address this hypocrisy because it is one that is so blinding. Hypocrisy is numbness to what you are really doing. So, you put on this outward exterior of being nice or wearing a smile or doing certain things out of obligation. You always give the gift, you always send the card at the birthday, you always do these certain things. But it's all these outside works when it's not really flowing from the character. It's flowing from what the image of what you think a good person would do or look like or be. And you really have to get honest and really seek God's instruction and to see it through His eyes, okay? Because of how He wants you to be, because if you don't, you're going to remain blind. And that blindness and the hypocrisy is about to be exposed. That's the revealing of the hearts. So I'm doing this video because I know that in my life, God has purged a lot of hypocrisy, and I was so blind to so much of it, okay? And it was so damaging and harmful. So I was creating the very things in my life that were causing a problem. So I didn't like certain things of how I was being, or certain relationships, or what was happening there, or how I felt, whatever it was, and it was coming from me. But when you have that honest heart to God and say, God, I really want you to expose all hypocrisy in my life, He will start doing that. And He will open up the floodgates, but He'll do it at a pace that you can handle and in a way which builds change. So He'll change one element that will build on the next, that will build on the next. He will answer that prayer if it is honest. And if you're truly willing to change, if you're truly willing to make a shift, to let go of those ways, to be uncovered. So if you've been in religion, or you are, what I suggest is just let go of all of that. Okay, the exterior things that you're clinging to, because God is a character. He has no image. And he said not to make any images of him. And so that means just focus on that pure character of God and all those elements, the righteousness, the mercy, the holiness, the kindness, the forgiveness, all these things. And let him knit that to your spirit. And so, God, how is that expressed in my life? How does that look in my life? And he'll start to show you, and you'll start to see where, wow, in this certain situation, I was being very hypocritical. I was smiling to this person there, but behind I was saying unkind words about him. I was desiring forgiveness from God and that mercy from him, but I'm not willing to give that to somebody else because I think they need to have justice in their life. This is all hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is lying. It's telling someone that you'll do something and you don't. It's saying that you're telling someone you'll do something when you have no intention of doing it. You're just giving them the words that they want to hear, but they're not in all truth and all sincerity. Okay? It's saying that you love your wife and you love your husband, but then you're lustfully looking at someone else. It is saying that you love God, but you don't spend the time with him each day, communing and talking with him and experiencing that union and growth with him, nurturing that connection and that understanding. All right? It is doing the things that you hate to do. So you're doing something, but you can't stand it. Well, why are you doing that? Why are you abiding in that hypocrisy? Because hypocrisy creates disharmony. Okay? Because it's not, there's no harmony there between two things, what you're thinking and what you're doing, what you're saying and what you're doing. It's these contrary things. It's like with me, I was saying that I would love animals, and yet I was eating meat that came from their suffering and their cruelty to those animals. That's hypocrisy. So there's so many ways in your life that we engage in hypocrisy that God will start to reveal and show you, because those things are causing disharmony. It's causing a storm in your life, okay? And because of God's mercy and long suffering, he hasn't allowed those storms to truly manifest. But during these days, those things are going to start to manifest, okay? And you're going to see increasing hardship and struggles and friction and illnesses and just all these things, difficulty in relationships, difficulty in your marriages, because it's full of hypocrisy. It's full of, you're not in alignment with the character of God. And if you're not in alignment with that character, I talked about that righteous standard, then if you're not in line with that, then everything against it is going to be showing it's against it by showing that friction. That's how God exposes hearts. That's how he reveals the things of darkness, by seeing how dark they really are. That's why the day grows darker, because the darkness is going to be seen as darkness. All right? But it's that light coming. So it's wonderful that this fruit of the tree of life and this coming to birth and these new creations and people that are now being able to hold that spirit of Christ because they've been prepared for that. They're vessels and become creations that can now have that marriage union with God. But that also means that this pit has been opened, that the connection, that light of Christ is now coming up in creation. Okay? People are going to be becoming mirrors of the reflection of God's glory and his power and his love. At the flip side, that means all the darkness, all the hypocrisy, all these things are going to be revealed. And that's how they're revealed, is by that turbulence, by those whirlwinds, by those storms, by things not working out, because you're showing you're not in harmony with God. And so take time to examine your life, because hypocrisy is raging against the will of God. That's what it is. And you don't want that, because it just creates trouble and suffering and pain in your life. And so you want to come in line with God. And that's why the religion is so harmful, because it covers everything. It's like it says, put on these garments and you'll be fine. And it just covers up the fact that you still have so much hypocrisy and you're not in harmony with the character of God. Okay? And so you're unknowingly going against God's will because you have these fake garments on. Stand before God as you are without any of that. Okay? Without any of those religious activities, acts. And what do you see? Do you see his character starting to shine through you? Do you see the honesty, the integrity, the trustworthiness, the beauty, the honor, the harmony? Or do you see all this disruptiveness? Because he wants to lead you into that peace. He wants you to become a son, a daughter of God, to be a part of him. But you have to be willing to come into that union. You have to draw near to him, and he will draw near to you. You have to have that connection with him, because as long as you think you're okay, as long as you think that it's okay to abide in hypocrisy or not look at that, or to have this harmony in your life, you're not going to grow, and your life is just going to get more and more turbulent. Okay, until it starts waking you up to the reality and go, you know what, man, my life is just horrible right now. No satisfaction, turbulence everywhere, there is no peace, everything's turning upside down. That's to show you that you're out of harmony with the character of God. And you need to seek him, because he is there wanting to shine that light for you to be a part of him, so that he can give you that abundant life that Christ came to give you. That abundant life comes out of having that, being knit to his character. And that just flowing through you, because that's all that it creates. It creates an abundance of blessing and provision and love and security and joy and just all these beautiful things. It creates an abundance of that. So right now you're having people that are starting to experience that, and those are the trees that are starting to put out the leaves. But again, on the flip side, that means that the trees that don't have the leaves are going to be gathered and thrown into the fire. You know, that's the refining fire. That's where these trees that are starting to produce fruit have been. They have let God, the eternal fire, refine them. You've got to be willing to be refined, or you're going to be thrown into that fire in a very intense way, which is all those tribulations that will get you to get out of your status quo and start really digging into what is true and who the true Heavenly Father is and what it really means to be united to him. It is the most amazing existence you could ever want and desire. But that's the point that you have to get to, is desiring to really know what that is and to walk in it and to leave everything else that's not of it behind. Until next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.